Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm John.
And I'm Richard.
And today we're going to be watching and reacting to My Hero Academia Season 5. But we've made it to episode 100.
100 episodes of My Hero.
Right? So let's just talk briefly about all the stuff that happened up to this point. We had Class A versus Class B. We've had pretty good fights all up until now, going back and forth, wondering who's going to win. No contest. Team A won. They had the main characters. They had that going for them. Yeah, so Team A won. Shinzo's fate is kind of up in the air still. We don't know where he's going, if he's going anywhere, what's going on with that. But great fights. We saw Deku regain control of his black whips for a few moments before losing it again and realizing that he needs to wait. We saw the resolution, obviously, to the last fight. And now, where do we go from here?
Yes, indeed.
Like we said in the last episode, maybe we're just all going to sit around and just have lunch together, just talk it out, and just, have a good, good.
I feel like we're due for
a moment.
I feel like we're due for like a kind of a downer episode, just to kind of cool down from
kind of like a gentle criminal or whatever. Just kind of like an off, just fun time.
Just kind of like cool it down. Let's settle down for a little while. For an episode or two.
So yeah. With that being said, let's get into this episode and see what's going to happen.
Oh jeez. What are you gonna say now?
Time for the monologue. Right?
But it looked like he really did start using One for All. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could have seriously hurt himself. Why?
Really?
Oh, wait. Why?
To copy her ability?
Copy her ability to maybe help him out?
Trying to force the new ability out of him.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently so.
To keep it from coming out.
Yeah, I wonder what triggered it the first time. Yeah, that's a good question. What was it?
The time is ripe.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be All for One.
Oh, yeah.
And we did see him a couple episodes ago,
yeah.
So... Now he's going back into his little...
True.
Also, this was kind of dangerous because if it did release, then what was going to stop him from controlling it? Or what was going to help him to try to control it? Because Aizawa was not there.
Mm-hmm.
See, everybody's having dinner
Yeah.
together.
All right. Well, we called it, I guess.
Yeah.
What? Why is she doing that to him?
Because she bumped into her.
Well, yeah, but like, what's
To
she
tor-
showing him?
to torture him somehow or another.
Is it something wholesome?
If you just calm down for a second. Well,
Oh.
there we go. Copied.
It's blank.
To get your quirk back, right? Yeah, that's. Oh. Interesting. Yeah. I could see him being a teacher at some point. Yeah. You actually allowed him to use a 100%, if I remember correctly.
I don't think that's how knives work, but
Well, yeah.
I like the analogy.
Yeah. He's basically saying it's a tool.
Yeah.
And depending on how you use that tool, it could be helpful or harmful. Oh, okay. Water. Who are these guys? Just a bunch of criminals, I guess. I don't think it's going to work, though.
I mean, it's not really the League of Villains, but
Yeah.
it's somebody.
Was that Bakugo? So did they actually get it?
Well,
I guess
obviously.
so. Wow. I mean, Todoroki is probably the best one for this. They're like fan. It's actually kind of a shame that we didn't actually get to see them acquire their license, but I mean, it is what it is. Why wouldn't there be a lot of heroes?
Work for a living. Carbonation? I thought he controlled water.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yep. Pretty much. I'm surprised Todoroki isn't like, freeze all that.
He can't control it.
What are you doing? Yeah, seriously. Oh.
Oh
no.
no.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, thanks. Okay, seriously, Todoroki, can you like?
Is he gonna evaporate it?
I think so. Flash freeze heat wave. Okay. Interesting. I mean,
Of course not.
who's this guy? That crazy kid. Wow.
That guy's so weird.
Yeah. What is this guy?
I just want to call him Arrow Man.
Sliding go. All right. Bakugo's like, let go of me. I mean, he could just. Interesting.
Okay, so got that nice chill episode where it's kind of relaxing. Got the provisional licenses out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's good. They're all heroes officially.
Mm-hmm.
Had some nice little, bonding moments between different team members. Had Shinzo's fate kind of tossed up in the air. A, B, who knows what team he's going to.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of expecting them to.
Never actually got around to telling us, but they did decide. They just didn't tell us.
Mm-hmm.
We had nice little. I mean, we had some minor criminals. Just kind of. They're kind of just to show that, they. Bakugo and them all got their licenses. That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, just kind of a, taking a break from everything. All the action we've had since kind of the season started. So, what do you think of this episode?
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Like you said, nice chill episode. We had a lot of stuff that happened last pretty much all season long. So, yeah, we just needed that nice break for this episode and maybe next episode too. I'm sure next episode we'll probably start picking up a little bit, just kind of
moving into the next
arc. Yeah. But yeah, Todoroki, Bakugo got their licenses. I guess it's just those two. We didn't really see
from Class A. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really see what the other people. If they, I'm assuming they did, but we really don't know. But yeah, it's nice to see that they got their licenses. I actually, and we talked about this just a minute ago, but I was thinking that the outro, that whole sequence was the class kind of getting together to celebrate the fact that, they got their licenses, so that Bakugo and Todoroki got their licenses. But we saw at the very last shot, it was like, happy birthday to you. And it's like, okay, I guess. So I guess that's not what that whole thing was about. But it could have been for... what's his name? All Might, because All Might's birthday is on June 10th.
Ooh,
so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I happened to notice it. Like I think it was last episode when they had his profile up. You know how they at the middle of each episode, it's like, here's one person and here's another person, and I just happened to notice his birthday was on June 10th. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it could have been for him too, but regardless, all that aside, one thing I do want to bring up was Monoma and his copy ability, and he was going to copy, what was her name? Eri, yes, copy her ability, but it ended up being blank. But it was kind of an interesting idea, though. Yeah. That they were going to try to do that. I'm assuming they were going to do it. he did say that they were trying to do it just so that he could teach her later on.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of also felt like they were going to try to do it just to see if they could try to bring back Lemillion's ability. Because we had actually talked about that before, too, when he lost his ability. He's like, oh, well, maybe when she gets more control over her power, she might be able to somehow...
And that still might be a thing down the road.
Yeah. But, I mean, I was thinking that they were going to try to do that right now with him to see if he could somehow do that and get Lemillion back into the game. So, I don't know. But that was an interesting concept. I hadn't even considered that until we saw them together, and then I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where, oh, well, duh, that would have been an obvious choice. But then you see the person attached to that power, and you're like, oh, that's probably why they waited for a while. He probably wasn't mature enough, and even still, he
right, yeah.
I don't know, Ari wasn't really too fond of him trying.
Yeah, or just too fond of him being there in general. So, but even still, it was an interesting idea, and and honestly, that actually kind of answered a question that I didn't even think to ask, because I knew he had abilities to copy, but I never really thought about him copying her quirk. So it's nice that they answered that question ahead of time before I actually even thought of it. So.
Yeah, I did like the detail they did. The detail and the thought that went in behind it, because he explained, well, there are certain ones that I can't copy because they require something to be made from that person, whether it be Fat Gum having the fat to activate his power,
or just to accumulate something is what he was saying. And I if I can't produce it, then I can't duplicate it. That's what he said. So. But yeah, and that is one thing I have to give credit to My Hero in general, is just that, a lot of this is all well thought out. Like I don't think there's really been an instance where I was just like, well, why'd they go this route? Or at least not that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, why'd they go this route? Or why didn't they do this? Or why didn't they address this? At least nothing too obvious. I'm sure there's been some times where I was like, okay, well, this doesn't make sense, but I'm sure I was like, this doesn't make sense right now, but I'm sure it'll be addressed at some point, that sort of thing. So,
that is very true. I know. I don't really try to talk too much about One Piece, but they do have a similar system with their devil fruits and whatever. And there have been times where I'm sitting there looking at them like, how did we get that out of that?
Yeah.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
But but for the most part, I've never really felt like that with My Hero so far, to where it's been like almost unbelievable, or I'm just kind of going along with it just because.
Right. I mean, there is like the big obvious questions, like things like what is All for One's, like, what's his biggest game plan, or huge game plan. I know it's like we kind of have an idea, but I'm sure there's more to it than what we've seen. But of course, we won't get more of that until later on. That's plot things that.
Or where did quirks come from? Because they
weren't
there.
That's another thing too. There's some really big questions that haven't been answered, but of course, I don't expect them to be answered right now, anyways, because that's just all part of the story. So.
And we did even dip into the fact that the more that people with quirks have children, the more quirks the children have.
Yeah, and the more powerful than they get too.
And what is that going to lead to in like another 2 generations?
Right.
They eventually might just be too many, and I don't know, mess up the biology of people, or they might just start canceling themselves out and just fizzle out.
They become gods essentially. Yeah. That's a possibility too.
Yeah, just we don't need one or All for One or One for All, or we don't need any of those. We just have everything anyway.
We're just going to ascend into a higher state of being. I don't know.
I mean, at that point, you kids would have so many powers they were born with.
Right. Yeah, and then it's like, it would get crazy. It would get absolutely crazy. It's hard to determine. Of course, again, though, that's just all story things that I don't expect to be answered right this second. Like, I expect that to be. I almost expect that to be a totally different series. Like,
I don't even
something that takes place like 10 years after this series is done. So
I don't think that'll ever be answered. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But different question. So Todoroki and Bakugo, they got their licenses, but how did you feel about them just kind of skipping over that? Like, okay, hey, they're about ready to get it, and then now they have it. Were you expecting?
I mean, I was okay with it just for the fact that we spent so much time on the original group getting their licenses.
Yeah, right.
And I think, didn't we have them try one time already to get their license and something came up? If I remember.
I don't remember that. I do remember that they've been like training and doing like, just basically trying to train to like take extra classes essentially. They've been doing a lot of extra classes, extracurricular activities or whatever to try to prepare themselves for the next for this essentially. I definitely know there was that, but I don't remember if they've actually taken it like multiple times.
It just seems, I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking they attempted to take it once before, but something came up and it kind of put that on pause.
Maybe.
I can't remember for sure.
I can't remember either. I mean, we're at 100 episodes right now, so it's like there's a lot of stuff's happened. happened.
Yeah. And it's not. And this series isn't like like a Dragon Ball or something where it's like we spent like a good 10, 20 episodes just charging up and building toward a point. Like this actually moves pretty quick sometimes. To where you'd probably have to need to go back and rewatch it and kind of just to learn the breakdown of different arcs and whatever.
To give it credit too, like unlike DBZ or unlike Naruto or Bleach or whatever. Whereas those series just keep continuing on. This one actually takes a break.
Takes a break.
So and there's no filler filler arcs there. At least not that I can tell. I mean,
we did kind of talk about that this season because it seemed like this season we used a lot of just the same clips over and over, and we flash back to Midoriya in his room in that dream.
But I'm talking about like actual full arcs of nothing but filler that really don't have anything to do with the actual story itself. So, I mean, the flashbacks and all that, honestly, as troublesome as that was, I get it. It's there to help build the tension and and remind us like, hey, this is why they're doing this, and this is why things are the way that they are. But with like Naruto, for example, like I just got so frustrated because like they would have the story, but then filler, and then back to story, and then we're back to filler again. So it's like that.
Yeah, like now that it's done, I wouldn't mind going back through and be like, I watched it when it was live, but what would it be like to watch it without the filler?
Yeah, right. And, sorry, Naruto fans, I'm not trying to pick on you or anything. It's just I did get really frustrated with that. And I've said before, I ended up just dropping the anime series and just read the manga at that point. But like, if a filler was enjoyable, like with Bleach, like I enjoyed Bleach's fillers, but if it's something like Naruto where it's just like, I don't care what's going on with this. I just want to get back to the story, So... But with My Hero, like I said, I mean, it really does feel like that they're doing it right. They're writing it correctly. Even with the flashbacks, it's still they still do it in a way where it's like it's still I'm still enjoying the series a lot.
So going back to the question of pacing, did you have an issue with them not showing Todoroki and Bakugo doing their test, or was that something you wanted to see?
I was wanting to see it a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not super upset that they didn't show it either, because it's like it did. Okay. Because it did in a way build up that last scene there with them, like, it's only been 30 minutes that you guys have had your hero's license, and then they're like, well, I mean, we're heroes now, so it doesn't matter if it's
how long do you got to be
2
a hero
minutes
to be a hero?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or 30 minutes or 30 days or whatever. We're heroes now, so we gotta go out and do our thing. So I was a little disappointed because that just would have shown more, I guess, character growth, especially with Bakugo. But at the same time, too, I guess in a way, the battle between Class A and Class B already kind of showed them being very mature, like Bakugo and Todoroki. So being very mature, show their progress, their growth as characters now. So I guess in a way it wasn't really necessary for us to even see that, see their getting their provisional licenses.
Whenever everyone else got their license, the shark guy, I don't remember his name, he did kind of throw different little twists at them, and that would have been neat if we did kind of like get a little window into that and be like, oh, what did he throw at them? We saw those guys, that they had to face, but what was their task? Was there something involved with that? And then they had those actors that were, the people who were acting hurt, and they would sit there and judge them based on how they rescued them again. I mean, we don't really know all of it, but we kind of maybe get an idea based on what happened before. It's just going to be a smaller scale, maybe. But
and even what happened after, because we even saw, like with Bakugo, when that one lady was up taking pictures or whatever, and All Might was swinging and trying to save her, which. Of course, All Might, he's still, despite the way he is right now, he's still got those instincts. So good job on him. But of course, he can only do so much. So Bakugo was just instantly on there, like, okay, blow this away, back away from them, whatever, and make sure that they're okay. So again, I guess in a way, we don't really need to see it. But I mean, it still would have been kind of nice just to kind of get more of an. I'm sure maybe we'll get some flashbacks here and there as well. I mean, because of course we will,
Oh yeah.
But
if it were important, I'm sure it would have been included.
Yeah, true, very true. But anyways, I think that's about it for this episode. I think. Did you have any other?
No. I think we're kind of at that point now where we are ready, like we talked about, for another. Upswing or saga or arc or whatever you want to call it. And, I'm really looking forward to it. So
all right. So in that case, then, guys, what did you think of this episode, and what do you think about Todoroki and Bakugo getting their provisional licenses finally? Let us know down in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this reaction, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified when we do put out content, and do us a favor. Check out our Patreon. We'd really appreciate that support. We do release full uncut episodes before we release them on YouTube. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next episode.